So the comparative of arduous is, what we have done is we have changed y into I. The kitten is littler than the previous one. Elder is actually in its comparative form. So it's going to be pleasanter, pleasantest. Everyone, welcome to a new video. And it is day 24 of studying English grammar. And I must say, we've advanced significantly. I've been able to learn so much, and hopefully you've been able to learn a lot through me. So I'm truly grateful for that. So today we are going to do exercises on comparison of adjectives. And yes, just when you see the exercise, pause the video, do the exercise, and as always, afterwards we'll discuss the answers. Now let's discuss the answers. So firstly, we have arduous. Now, arduous, in case you do not know, arduous means something that's very difficult, something that requires great effort. So that's what arduous means. Anyway, so the comparative of arduous is more arduous, and the superlative is most arduous. Now, adjectives of more than two syllables form their comparative and superlative by adding more and most before the adjective, before the positive, that is. Next up, we have sincere, and the comparative of sincere is more sincere, and the superlative is most sincere. Far, that is distance. So the comparative is farther, and the superlative is farthest. At number 4, we have far, but in a figurative sense. So the comparative is going to be further, and the superlative is going to be furthest. At number 5, we have worthwhile. So it's going to be more worthwhile and most worthwhile. Handsome, again, more handsome and most handsome. Nasty, the comparative of nasty is nastier, and the superlative is nastiest. What we have done is we have changed y into I, and then we have added er and est. Now, little. Little, when we talk about size, the comparative is going to be littler and the superlative is going to be littlest. Let me give you an example. The kitten is littler than the previous one. So littler is not in popular use. We can simply say smaller than the previous one. But yes, when we talk about size, the comparative is littler and the superlative is littlest. Moving on, we have little when we talk about amount. In this case, it's going to be little, less, and least. For example, this is less important. This is the least important. So here we are talking about amount or quantity. At number 10, we have late, and late has two comparative and two superlative forms. We have discussed this, so it is late, latter, last, late, later, latest. So at number 1, we have few, and the comparative is fewer, and the superlative is fewest. Many. So the comparative is more, and the superlative is most. Elder is actually in its comparative form, but if you remember, we discussed this, that elder is an adjective that has lost its comparative meaning and is now used as positive. So elder that way has a positive meaning, but having said that, the positive degree of elder is old. So it is old, elder, eldest, old, older, oldest. Scarce. So it's going to be scarcer, scarcest, humble, humbler, humblest, pleasant. So it's going to be pleasanter, pleasantest, and we can also add more and most before the positive degree to form the comparative and the superlative. Slender, again, you can form the comparative and superlative of slender by simply adding er and est, and you can also add more and most before the positive degree. So it's going to be slender, slenderer, slenderest, or more slender, most slender. Able, abler, ablest, narrow, narrower, narrowest, and sophisticated. We're simply going to add more and most before the positive degree. And this is it. So you know what to do, don't you? So do like, share, subscribe, and as I always say, live a beautiful life. Now, I think I should really come up with something else, but this genuinely is the best message I can end the video with. So yeah, live your life to the fullest. Now, I must tell you, you should continue to practice because practice makes a man perfect. So continue to practice, guys.